Timeless Tales, a modern fable, the coder who listened. In a city where the screens never went dark, there was a company that built software for hospitals. Their systems tracked medications, monitored patients, and sent alerts to nurses when something was wrong. The work was quiet and invisible, until the day it wasn't. Among the engineers who worked there was a young woman named Mira. She had graduated top of her class, could write a sorting algorithm from memory at any hour, and spoke in sentences that made other engineers feel slightly out of breath. She was, everyone agreed, exceptional. She also knew it. When Mira joined the team, she was given a task: rewrite the alert delivery system, which was old, slow, and prone to delays. She read the old code once, declared it a disaster, and began rewriting it from scratch.
The old system is built on callbacks nested 5 levels deep. I rewrote the core in a sync-await. It runs 300 milliseconds faster. You're welcome.
Her colleague Elan had worked on the alert system for 7 years. He was not flashy. He did not speak in terms that made people feel breathless. He had the habit of pausing before answering questions, a pause that Mira found infuriating, as though she were watching a progress bar that should have been instant. When Mira showed Elan her rewrite, he looked at it for a long time without speaking.
What happens if the database is unavailable when the alert fires?
It throws an exception. The caller handles it.
And the caller is the alert scheduler, which runs on a cron job, which doesn't catch exceptions. The alert would be silently dropped.
I'll add a try-catch. It's a simple fix.
Mira added the try-catch and moved on. She did not ask Elan why the original system had handled that case the way it did. She did not ask the nurses who used the alerts what they actually needed. She had built something fast and elegant, and she was proud of it. She deployed it on a Tuesday. On Thursday, a nurse on the overnight shift noticed that the priority 1 alerts, the ones that meant a patient's oxygen levels had dropped, were arriving 12 seconds later than they used to. 12 seconds is nothing. 12 seconds is also a long time when someone cannot breathe. The nurse filed a report. The engineering director called a meeting.
Walk me through the deployment. What changed?
I rewrote the alert delivery in a sync-await. The benchmarks showed it was faster.
The old system used a synchronous queue with back pressure. When a high-priority alert came in, it was immediately bumped to the front of the queue. The async version processes everything in the event loop without priority ordering. Low traffic periods look fine. High load or a burst of alerts, and the priority 1 items wait their turn.
The room was very quiet. Mira looked at Elan. She thought about asking how he knew that. She thought about pointing out that the benchmarks had shown a clear improvement. She thought about explaining that she couldn't have known about priority ordering if no one had told her. All of these things were true. None of them helped the nurse on the overnight shift.
Why didn't the original code have any comments about the priority queue?
It did. You said you only read it once.
The system was rolled back that night. It took Mira and Elan 4 days to rewrite it properly, with the priority queue, with Elan's explanation of every design decision, and with input from 3 nurses about the failure modes they had learned to watch for. Mira wrote more code in those 4 days than she had in the 2 weeks before. She also asked more questions than she had in her entire career.
Why didn't you stop me before I deployed it?
I asked you a question, you answered it and moved on. I could have pushed harder, but I've also learned that some lessons only take when the person is ready to receive them. You're ready now.
Mira went on to become one of the finest engineers the company had, not because she became less brilliant, she had always been that, but because she learned to treat her colleagues the way she treated a difficult code base, with curiosity, with patience, and with the humility to know that the most important information is almost never on the surface. Years later, when she was the one reviewing a junior engineer's rewrite of a system she had built, she asked a question before offering any other word of feedback. She waited through the silence that followed, and when the junior engineer started to explain themselves, she listened. The cleverest line of code means nothing if you never stop to understand what the person beside you is trying to build. Listen first, build second. The best engineers are not the ones who write the most impressive code. They are the ones who read the room as fluently as they read the repository.